Howdy mates, how are we doing? Good morning. Here's a part 2 video over at the Highlands Hammock State Park. Right now we're actually at a different little portion of the park. We're actually specifically on the Pine Hammock trail, which basically indicates that the type of trail that we're on is known as an ecotone. Now, in terms of, in terms of ecology, an ecotone refers to a transition between one habitat and another. So, in other words, an ecotone is just another term for transition. So, you may have noticed we're seeing a bit of a mixture of different types of vegetation right now. So we're seeing a little bit of slash pine right in front of me. We see a little bit of laurel oak to my left. And then behind me, we actually have our sweet gum. Now rest assured, bubble gum isn't made from this tree. But the sweet gum tree leaves, they actually highly resemble maples. But rest assured, they are not the same thing. Now, hopefully, as I traverse through this trail, the sweet gum, they actually produce a particular, it's like a, what do you call it? Like a seed, essentially, that is produced. Kind of like an equivalent to a pine cone, kind of, sort of. They kind of look like a spike ball. So, hopefully, we'll have a chance. But in this particular habitat, this is essentially... Jeezy Pete, I had 3 mosquitoes on my hand. Essentially, this is a young hammock. So it's still basically developing as we speak. It hasn't fully established yet. So what I mean by that, what characterizes, hammocks is, not something that we lay on, but rather the hammocks refer to the abundance of cabbage palm as well as live oaks too. So they're starting to nudge their way in, slowly but surely. But prior to the hammock setting making its way in here, this was all... Wow, that was crazy. A palm fronds literally fell right behind me. There's that. But essentially this area was once just pine flatwoods. So it was pretty much, the slash pine and then the saw palmetto that you see down here. It was a lot more what you call exposed. So especially for this time of the year, this is actually a good state park to go to, just because there's a lot of ample shade. And, as soon as you're in the shade, that takes off at least 20 degrees Fahrenheit from being out in the open with the sun. But still, the humidity is a thing. So, even right now, I'm actually sweating quite a bit. But it's just a given. And it's a bit of a mosquito haven too out here. They love it here. And that's the thing too. Even though mosquitoes are a nuisance sometimes, they actually do play a good role. Our mosquitoes, like this one that you're seeing on my hands right now, are just flying around me. I mean, they are just everywhere right now. That's why I have to keep moving. Mosquitoes actually play a role in pollination for the germination of future plants. So, their proboscis, that's used to get their blood, is the same proboscis that's used to pollinate. And here's actually a fascinating thing. Did you know that it is only female mosquitoes that go on your skin to try to suck your blood. Here's why. You see, there's a common misconception that mosquitoes only feed on blood. It's not true. Mosquitoes, they actually like to feed on, well, considering how small they are, they actually like to feed on other larvae, if they can, or they actually like to feed on nectar, as a matter of fact. So they, they like sugar just as we do. But here's the point that I want to make, is with females, the thing is, most of their diet, they don't really get the needed protein that they need. So the females, since they're about to, raise their, produce their next generation, they need to have a lot of protein. And so, since blood is both a rich source and iron and protein, the females, they're programmed to go after blood. Now, apparently it's a bit of myth as to whether or not mosquitoes only go after a certain type of blood. It's really difficult to say. But just know that it is only the females who go after the blood. The males, they really don't care. Not so much. Could you imagine if it was both male and female? It'd be even worse. So, despite how much of a nuisance they can be, they still play a crucial role in this ecosystem. And as a matter of fact, too, sometimes you do have to be careful with mosquito exposure, because sometimes they can be disease carrying. That especially happened during the Seminole Wars down here in Florida. A lot of the pioneers, they didn't quite know the mechanisms or the means of helping to cope with mosquitoes. They didn't really know about natural repellents, as it were. So, alright, you guys, thanks for watching. I'll be sure to share something in regard to them, about their crucial role. And I want to provide a shout out to Angelique. She's an acquaintance of mine, and she actually made a post about mosquitoes a couple of days ago, and provide a little bit of inspiration to talk about them a bit more. So, alright, you guys, take care. Enjoy your Wednesday. Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks. See ya.